So my wife's putting up Halloween decorations, and she gets to these pumpkins that she really likes, but she doesn't want to do the extension cords. She says, how do we make these battery powered? So we have this hole in the back, right, where the bulb came out. So I started looking at what were available for kind of a tea light size, and they have some nice fire simulated tea lights that, you know, do a nice little flickering, have a remote, have a timer. Look like we're onto something. But then they've got to be waterproof, right? They're going to be out there, and ordered one that looked the best, knowing that it had switches on the bottom and different things. Figured get in and we'd see what we can do to, you know, waterproof that up. So what I wound up doing is going into CAD and doing a very quick cover. This has the bottom defined first here. We need a pull tab. Made it 0.8 millimeter thick. That is generally 4 printing layers on the printer. Usually a 0.4 nozzle prints 0.2 millimeter thick. Add a little fillet and the sides on it and kind of round it off, and then we can print it out. And that would go onto the back of it. We can take that off when we need to turn the switch on and off or change the battery. And the rest of it is pretty much sealed in with the fake flame has a resin in place there, and then the whole other is one plastic piece. And any water that kind of gets up under the lip should drip back out, can't climb up in there. Now these candles had little nubs on the bottom which would let them sit flat with the switch pushing down, but they also kind of poked into the rubber a little bit, so I snipped those flush so I didn't have to worry about those poking through the rubber. So these tea lights, the reason I chose them over some others is the battery here is a 2450, which lithium batteries, the first 2 digits are your millimeter diameter, 24 in this sense, and the last 2 are 1 decimal place thickness. So a 2032 is very common. This one's 2450, so it's 5 millimeter thick and larger in diameter. Much more runtime compared to a 2032. For mounting these onto the pumpkin, I used hot melt, which usually sticks really well with plastic, and it's also going to stick well to the pumpkin piece. You want to put a decent amount of hot melt to there because the hot melt quantity keeps the thermal energy, which is needed to wet into the other piece. You also want to put a decent amount on your thumb because it burns really well and feels amazing. I think one of the marks of a truly professional YouTuber is someone who does all the action off camera with just hints of what it was, because that allows the viewer to really have to use their imagination to figure out what in the world he did. It's really hard balancing that enough hot melt without being kind of goopy. It's just going to make a little bit of a mess. You can easily trip that off afterwards. What I started doing is trying to get the hot melt to lead to the inside of it so that it gives you a decent mass, but it's not on the outside of those. So this, once you know, got a feel for it, it went really fast. We had 6 pumpkins and I was able to do them very, very rapidly. So the end result of this, they're not quite as bright as the AC powered ones, but they're pretty good. Here you see me giving it a heck of a shake. They bonded, the plastic and the pumpkins bonded really well. I don't care too much that that's a waterproof seal because water's going to get inside the front, but the seal for that backing is really good. And once you take off all those nubs, it goes on there pretty decent. And any water just, you know, runs around it. So I think that's a success for the TPU printed piece. First time I've really used TPU in a project like this that I designed from scratch. All I had to light the outside of the pumpkins were some more of these candles, so that's why they kind of do a little flickering.
Check out the phone. Look at the display.
It's kind of working. Here we go.
These came in a dozen, so we wound up using 2 each for our pumpkins, and they work really well. 2 of them is definitely brighter and looks pretty good inside there. The nice thing is you can turn on and off all of these with the same remote. Hope this was interesting, and thanks for watching.